Hello, everybody, and welcome back to an F1 TS Hub stream. We are finally here for our teammate selection for the Podium tier for Season 12, and I thought I'd bring along with me Jamie, who is head of teams. Jamie, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm okay. Hello, everybody.
Good stuff. So the process is obviously, Jamie, you've been working hard on signing some drivers up to our teams, the 10 teams, and they've all signed a driver, and then those 10 drivers obviously pick a driver who doesn't have a contract, and of course they'll pair up together for the season. So there's been some pre-arranged contracts, and we'll run through all those in a minute, of course. But Jamie, talk for anyone new watching, talk us through the process of what happened with the whole team contracts. What happened earlier in the week.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, as soon as the tiers are announced, we open up a stage where we have there are all 10 Formula One teams on the grid, and we categorise them into three categories, and we allow all 20 drivers to apply for certain seats, but you have to match like specific criteria to match certain seats. So, like, if you want to drive for Ferrari or Red Bull or Mercedes, you have to like have a proven track record and be a reliable member, and I've had to pick up results in the past. And then you've got your middle group teams, your Williams, your McLaren, your Force India, and your Renault. And these teams, they're like sort of experienced drivers who are looking to improve, looking to contend. And then you got at the lower end, you got Haas, Force India, not Force, Haas, Toro Rosso, and Sauber. And these are the teams that are rookie teams. These are teams that rookies open to apply for, and these are teams that tend to get the most applicants because of this.
Awesome stuff. So let's we've obviously got a few teams still left to have a teammate, so we'll go through those in a second. But obviously we'll run through who was signed up to each team first of all. So Jonas was signed up to Ferrari, AR Gizmo with Force India, Ols with Haas, Rex with McLaren, Jorit with Mercedes, Gaza with Red Bull, Liam with Renault, White Eagle with Sauber, D-Boy Dan with Toro Rosso, and Stevie with we'll call her Stevie Hart with Williams, because we've got two Stevies in this tier. So yeah, basically now those 10 drivers, obviously throughout the week, they were able to offer the other 10 drivers without a drive a place on their team. And some have made agreements, some haven't been able to make any agreements yet. But let's quickly run through who has agreed what. Jamie, do you want to run through which teams agreed to go with which team?
Yeah, go ahead. In Ferrari, you've got Jonas Ulbrich, who's teaming up. Oh, sorry, Ferrari. Sorry, Ferrari team. Sorry, I was doing the wrong message there. In Force India, you've got AOI Gizmo, who's teamed up with Zayak, I think that is. At
Yep.
Haas, you've got Ols, who's partnering with myself. In Mercedes, you've got Jorit, who's partnering with Nick G07. In Red Bull, you've got Gazaman, who's partnering up with Dainster. In Renault, you've got Liam, who's partnered up with Stevie G. In Toro Rosso, you've got D-Boy Dan, who's partnering up with Only One Phase. And in Williams, you've got Stevie Hart, who's teaming up with Razor.
So some interesting teams, a mix of obviously new drivers, experienced drivers. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing how they get on. But of course, we still got three teams left to pick teammates. So Jonas is going to go up first. So if Jonas wants to offer one of the three drivers without a team yet, who is Ermi, Gamersat, and Russ. So we'll see in the chat. We'll give him a minute, see whether he wants to offer any driver a place. If not, we'll move on to Rex, and then move on to White Eagle following that. So yeah, Jonas, if you want to select any of the three to join you at Ferrari, you're more than welcome to do so now. And if not, as I said, then we'll move on to the next. And if they're not available to select tonight, Jamie, then we get the pleasure of pairing them up. So Ferrari,
Oh,
obviously,
yeah.
one of the most popular teams. What would you say the team that had the most applicants was in this tier?
Um, well, on my spreadsheet, Sauber had the most applicants. You had their five drivers. And then you had Ferrari and Haas, they both had three. and then the rest had two, and the two seats I was struggling to fill were McLaren and Red Bull. They only had one applicant each, so it's obvious who applied for them too. It was actually this was the first tier to fill all the drivers up, and I only had to chase one seat. And that was pretty. I was quite happy with that.
So when you say Sauber had five, how did you manage to pick? Did it go on obviously their previous driver stats, the highest or first come?
Um, a, a little bit. Last season it's first come first serve, but this season I sort of give people more time. I didn't apply till Monday, and basically I went for White Eagle because there's a few that applied for the Sauber seat that got other seats already. And White Eagle obviously he's a race premium member and he raced last season and he got a few points finishes I think as well. So he showed some decent results last season and Sauber seems like much more popular car than last season. I think people prefer the new livery on it.
Yeah, I definitely think the livery has increased popularity. I also think Charles Leclerc has increased the popularity. If you're watching and you're part of the podium tier, let us know whether you think you can put on a constructors championship challenge this season. There's a few guys saying getting ready, raring to go. But Jonas, if you're watching, you need to post in the PSN chat. Just let us know. So Ermi. So would you look at that? Of course, he's the most successful driver at F1 TS Hub. So that is not a bad pick at all. Ferrari hasn't, Ermi hasn't ever driven in a Ferrari in his seasons at F1 TS Hub. Only, I believe, McLaren and Williams. So, yeah, that'd be interesting to see how they get on. All right, so at Ferrari, Jonas and Ermi, the next confirmed lineup. Congratulations to them. Next up is going to be Rex. So Rex obviously was signed by McLaren. So Rex, it's your turn to pick. You've got Gamersat or you've got Rust to choose from. If you want to let us know in the PSN chat, then we'll be able to get you paired up. Yeah, another lineup complete, Jamie.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that seems like a pretty good line. I think Jonas got a few poles last season, and obviously Ermi, we might not expect much early on, but I think once he obviously got the game pretty late on, so I expect him towards the end of the season to really hit good form, and I expect him to be a title contender, but maybe not at the start of the season, but towards the end, I expect him to get some really good results. Ermi, that is.
Yeah, definitely. He's had a lot of success, F1 TS Hub. So, confirmation, Rex is going to take Gamersat as his teammate. So, they will be teaming up in the McLaren this season. They both raced in the podium tier last season, so they'll know each other on track. I'm sure they've had some battles as well. So, yeah, that makes it pretty easy. So, White Eagle, obviously in the Sauber, he will pair up with Russ 19836. So congratulations to them as well. And Jamie, that is everyone with a teammate, which is pretty exciting. We've got 10 teams, 20 drivers, 2 championships up for grabs. Contenders for the drivers. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, looking at this list, I think there's several of contenders. I think you've got to say, I think the main ones are probably. I did a practice race with Liam the other night, and he seemed pretty quick, so I'll put him down as a contender. I think you've got people like Jonas and Alls, and I think Gaza. I think Gaza has got really good pace in this game. I think he'll be a contender. And obviously people like you can't discount experience, people like Razat and Ermi and a few others as well. I think it's going to be wide open this season, and I think there's several contenders for both championships.
And obviously, you're involved in this tier as well, Jamie. You'll be racing. Of course, podium tier races at 7 p.m. every week. So always last season before that as well, always provided us with fantastic action, lots of safety cars. And it was, as last season, I believe, the first 6 races out of 12, because we had only had 12 races last season.
Yeah.
We had 6 different winners, so just shows you how exciting this tier is. You looking forward to get back out on track, or are you feeling a little bit nervous ahead of next week?
Yeah, I'm feeling quite confident. I did a practice race around France the other night, and I struggled quite a lot. But now I've started to work on setups now, and I'm starting to get a lot more confidence. So I think I can be in around that podium position, and hopefully I can get multiple podiums this season. And maybe you never know, might get constructors crown. That'd be great if I do that.
Awesome. All right, we're just before we leave it there. Does anybody on stream have any questions for us before we head off? I will obviously post an updated image of the confirmed teams and drivers lining up in those teams on the chat on the website as well, and of course across Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching, and follow us on those 3 channels as well, our social media channels. So yeah, it'll be good to finally get going next week. It feels like it's been a forever preseason, but obviously the patches for this game have been coming thick and fast. Another one this week, so yeah, looking forward to just finally getting out there. Those lights going off in the quali session, finding out who's gonna topple the first pole position on F1 2018. A lot of excitement buzzing in the air, Jamie.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, obviously, yeah. There's also this is my 4th season of racing, the 4th different team I've driven for, so it's going to be interesting. I've never driven a Haas before in a F1 game, so might take a bit to get used to, but I think it should be all right.
Dainstar wants to know who we think will win the constructors. If I had to take a pick, I think it's going to be close. I don't know why, but I think that Renault has a good chance of winning the
Yeah,
constructors. I definitely think that is one to watch out for. I also think Red Bull. We know Dainstar's quick, and we know how consistent Gazza can be as well, especially if he
yeah, definitely.
starts on those harder compound tires in the early part of the race. Of course, you don't know how Army's going to perform, so definitely Force India are going to be a team to be reckoned with, as are Haas, obviously, which you're in, Jamie. So I definitely think this one's going to go to the wire, and 21 races is a very, very long time.
Yeah, it is, and obviously it's going to swing about a bit, I think, and I think season 10 it was quite an interesting in this tier. It was quite an interesting title battle. So hopefully, I prefer the full seasons because you sort of you sort of can get a real idea. You sort of get to know to race people. I don't really know many people in this tier, like driving wise, so it's hard to make predictions. But yeah, I think they look strong teams. I think most teams look pretty strong, to be fair, and I reckon I reckon there might be a few double podiums from the teams, multiple double podiums from teams and races if certain drivers like Pacific Tracks and stuff. So I think it's going to be quite a high scoring constructors crown this season.
Well, we look forward to it. Of course, the first race of the season next Friday, so do not miss it. Make sure, guys, you get your practice in. We want to see a full grid for the first race of the season, so hopefully we will all see you in Australia, Melbourne, for round 1. Jamie, of course, best of luck to you in that race when
Thank
you get out of retirement and off the golf course. And yeah, thank you all for
you.
tuning in. Best of luck to everyone throughout the entire season, and I look forward to commentating with you guys next Friday starting at 7 p.m. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you very much.